Hi guys. How is everyone today? Um, Alicia and Fizzy will be here in a moment. Just need to give a language warning. Fizzy swears a lot, so, just be warned. Hi guys. Hi Sunny. Hi Kuroda. Hi Toast for breakfast. Zidane. Jayats. Okay. Okay, I can hear you guys now. Say hi.
Oh no. Hi.
Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up? It's your homie, Uncle Alicia.
God.
Hi, can you hear us all well? Is the volume okay?
I'm listening in.
Let me.
Language warning, they speak Australian.
Yep. Basically.
Apparently, I don't sound Australian though. Vijay says I
No, you
don't sound
don't.
Australian.
Yeah, no,
Really?
you don't.
Why?
Yeah, you really do.
I called my parents about it this morning. I was like, I keep getting told I don't sound Australian. They're like, well, what do you sound like?
Can you turn the volume of me and Fuji up?
Okay. Yes, sir.
And pull you up a bit.
Yeah. Well, actually, I can't pull myself up at all. I'm at the highest max.
Oh, I see. Yeah, then pull just me and Fuji up.
Yes. Let me remember how to do this. There we are. Fizzy's a little higher. And Lisa's a little higher. Speak.
Hi.
Yeah. I'm just like sound.
Volume same as ever. I can't hear you unless I blast my. That's it in. Oh
Yep.
gosh. Okay. I guess we can do my screen for now. Oh yeah, you guys get to see your little buddies. There's a lot of paper stuck to this coffee. I need to fix my sleep schedule before I start developing a cold.
It's fine. Me and Fuji are still a little bit quiet. Like we are like half the volume of you.
Wow. Oh, wait. I got it. I'm a genius. Sorry.
No.
It's fine.
How does speak?
Hello. Can everyone hear me? I don't.
Yeah. Let's hope they hear us.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. There.
So loud. Okay. Should we get into things?
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, Fuji's a bit too loud. I need to turn Fuji
Oh,
down.
am I?
Same.
Oh.
I can
Sorry.
turn it down on Discord. Don't worry.
Sorry, I just put my volume up on my microphone. I put my gain up on my microphone. I thought that was the issue. Sorry.
No, it was on my end. Oh, sorry. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, cool.
I did it.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Zidane, you were the one that asked about color theory, right? How to make colors warmer and cooler?
It's just the weight of this.
I can put a bit.
I like how my little icon just cuts off because it's the square.
I tried the other one. It wouldn't register.
Did you want to put my other my finger hearts one?
I like this one more.
The finger hearts is too powerful for you.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly how it is.
Yeah, the cross-eyed thing on my avatar was on purpose, just because.
Okay, yeah. So color temperature. Does anyone specifically want to share their screen for this, or should I do it?
I don't color, so yeah.
I mean, you can
Sorry.
you can do it. I'm all
Mm-mm.
good.
I'm just trying to think of how to word this, because color temperature is relative. Like, as you can see, color is a spectrum.
Yeah.
So, like, what's warm on this end and what's cool on this end, it kind of gets a little fuzzy as you put colors next to each other. I might not be explaining this too well, but like, okay, so this is like a warm color, right? But then, like, if you put it next to this color, that's the warm tone. But then if you put it next to something like this, then technically this one seems cooler because it's closer to purple, and this one is closer to yellow. I don't think I'm explaining this well. Alicia, would you like to?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, forgot my screen is this.
I'll put yours over.
Sure. Let me just make
What?
okay. Let me know when
There we are.
you're watching my screen.
I can see your screen now.
Okay. Oh yeah, I need to get rid of this. Okay, I need. Wait, let me check out. I have my night light on. Let me turn that off so I know. Okay, so I think for me is I'm gonna say about the color wheel. In general, if you split the color wheel this way, so red, orange, yellows, and greens are usually the warm tones, and blue tones are usually the pink, purples, and blues. If you want to make a certain color, like say warmer, you push it forward to it. So if this pink, let's go for a cool tone. This is a cool pink. If you push it more towards the red, it will make it warmer. Same with things like blue. If you push it more towards the warmer side, it turns it a bit more warmer. There's also cheat ways. So if you're like, oh, let me use whatever random colors I want to use. Like this is all looking very cool tone, doesn't it? Add a layer. Add a multiply layer. Choose a warm tone. So maybe like a red. Very light red. And you just paint it over, it turns it warm anyways.
Mm.
You same color next to. Oh wait, let's look at the comments. Are you same color next to other colors make color warmer because of the other color? Yes.
Yeah.
That's a relative thing. It's like if this whole canvas was, say, black. If it wants a color, black. Do another layer. If we do this, this looks very light. Let's not use a big brush to spaz out. This looks very light. Especially if everything else is really dark and stuff. But it's once we take off the black, that looks really dark, doesn't it? Extremely dark. That's the same thing with cooler and warmer tones. If you but I'm assuming they want the whole color scheme to be warm. So yeah, my biggest way I do it is I use you can use filters as well. So let's like we get the random cool tones. What colors do you want, guys? Say random colors.
Yeah. Green.
All cool tones. And once we have the multiply light on, choose something warmer. So I usually use the orange as well. or suddenly warmer toned than this.
It's also a good way of making sure that color palettes work with each other.
Usually, if you want anything to match, just put a multiply layer and put a color over it.
But you can also try it out with different filters, not just multiply. And it gives different effects.
Yeah, so we can use overlay. Screen is a good one to make everything lighter. Yeah. Color kind of puts the color on top of it. Saturation puts it on top. There's a lot of different things. It's also a good thing if you think of a picture, like so Ree does it a lot. Ree gets pictures that are already warm toned and pick from it. Color pick. If you color pick something that is already warm toned, you know that the whole palette is warm toned.
Yeah. Also, good morning, Sheetzilla.
Yeah. So yeah, usually how I make things cooler is I always just push it towards the cooler side of things. So if I say this is the cool side of the color palette and that's the warm side, I always just push it a little bit if I want it warmer. So if I'm like, oh, I want a purple, but I want it warmer, I push it a bit more pink. Because pink is a bit warmer. If I have a red, but I want it a bit cool, I'll bring it to pink to make it cool. If I got a green, I want it cooler, I pull it towards more to the blue. Because those are different. This is very warm toned. Very cool tone. Same with orange, push it more towards the yellow. If you push it towards more... Ooh, I did not do that right. Push it towards the red, it's cooler.
But also when you're doing overlays with color to make things warmer, sometimes if the color is on the opposite side of the spectrum, it'll neutralize it slightly as well.
That's true. There's a lot of things to do with color theory, and it's a bit hard. And you're gonna see me because whenever I talk and my mind doesn't think, I just start drawing randomly. Yeah. I always just, if I want something cool, I usually use a lot of filters and use saturation things, so I'm just gonna draw a very cool tone thing and then we can try to edit it with the filters to make it warmer toned. Let's darken that actually. I'm drawing random landscape.
Oh, Waffle Tots, hi! We're talking about color theory right now. Glad you can make it.
Very random painting I'm doing right now.
Look at that perspective.
Ooh, dang.
Let's add some random cool toned items. I don't know what I'm painting. This is very weird colors. They're all cool toned. So
It's modern art, hey, isn't it?
expressionist art.
Yes.
Get a cool, very cool toned.
Oh, that brings me back to exams last year.
I know.
Pain. Oh, is it squish? Yeah.
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
How can you not?
Of course.
It's mandatory.
It's very mandatory. expressionist squish.
This squish is a requirement. The squish is a
Expressionist.
requirement for any Alicia drawing.
Expressionist. Anyways.
Started to becoming a
Anyways.
requirement in my sketchbook too.
Okay, let's put a correction layer. Which one should we use? Because we'll use different things. So hue saturation, we can pull it. So that's already turning warm, but let's not use hue saturation. Let's use wrong thing. Wait, where is it again? I'm lost. Correction layer. Color balance. So, like things like push it towards. Let's make this warmer. So let's push it towards more yellow compared to blue. Green and magenta. Green's the more warmer tone, and red's more warmer. And that's much more than how it was before.
Alright,
But if I do a quick color picky now, to on the warmer side of things. Is there any more to say about that?
I think that pretty much sums it up. Like, color theory is difficult.
There's a lot more to color theory.
Yeah, like color palettes.
But yeah, just a quick rule of thumb is just make sure you split the color wheel and just drag it towards cooler or warmer.
And if you want to make something look cooler, surround it by warm tones. Because that'll like up the contrast.
Yeah, so if it's all warm toned, cool toned here, if I extremely warm up my squish here, oh wait, that's a bit too warm. Let's do a quick color to it. Look how much. Look at that contrast. Contrast.
And also, it makes him the center point because he is contrasting the most.
I wonder what this would do. Oh, hell yes.
Yeah, that's how you see values. That's how I tell values. You do like color layer and then you drop black.
Black it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
I learned that this is the only true way to get values on a digital program.
Yeah.
Because other things, if you do like desaturate and stuff, sometimes it takes the values and things with it. So yeah, if I wanted to up the the focal point, this little bud needs to be lighter. Yes.
You're basically saying even boiling water will look cold if you surround it with lava. I love that description, Mia.
That's a great description. Yes, I agree.
Yes. Yep.
You get an A+ from me.
I hope that was helpful, Zidane. Let us know if you have any more questions. And have a good day, Ace Honey. Thank you so much for stopping by. What did you do there? Bye bye.
Yes. So, what was the next things that we'll ask about anatomy? I think Ri is pretty good at anatomy.
Okay.
You want to give anatomy a try?
Can I do anatomy drawings?
Yes, you can move back to your frame.
Yes. Yep, there we are. Hello. Anyone remember what the question was?
Anatomy. I think it was just anatomy tips.
References.
Look at people.
Look at people. Like
have a mirror.
Actually, it actually helps. Yeah, but
I have
also
a mirror. Yeah.
Like if you take a picture and then you go over it with like a bright red or like a bright pink or something that contrasts, and then go over it and don't like don't like do all the contours and the details and like all the little dips. Go over it with like basic shapes. So a lot of the time heads are simplified with circles or squares. Circles are good.
Can I interrupt you just real quick for you to share your screen so I'm not watching the stream and having it delayed?
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just like,
I remember how to do that.
oh, I was like, oh, we're finally up to where we mentioned that.
Where am I? Here it is. Wait. I was about to share it in the wrong spot. I don't usually share my screen. There we are. Does that work?
Yes, that works.
Okay.
Let me see. There you are. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, continue.
So a lot of the time, heads are simplified with either squares or like cubes or circles. And you don't even have to worry about like doing these lines that create a 3D effect yet. You can just go in and like figure out what the most simplified shapes of the body are. So like a lot of the time torsos or like rib cages are squares, at least for me. Actually, you can just simplify all of it into squares if you want, or even just circles, whatever shape you like. And so then by breaking it down into the simplest shapes, you can learn like basically what general proportions are, like how long limbs are usually relative to other body parts. And then after you've become more comfortable with simplifying the shapes, then you can go into like how like the contours of an arm usually differ from the other parts of the body, or how like it curves, or where dips usually occur, where muscles or fat or like bones usually stick out of a body. So yeah, it's usually when you're trying to learn anatomy, you need to go from simplest to most complicated, just so you have a good base to learn from. Did that make sense? Sorry.
That made sense to me.
Yeah, same.
I would also add that although you can be really perfect at anatomy, if you're only working in like illustrations and stuff, you don't actually need to be perfect at anatomy. Because a lot of people are stylized things, like even Fuji. Fuji's a professional animator, but he has a very stylized way of doing anatomy as well, compared to proper anatomy. But he's too good at it.
Yeah, and that's why it's good to start with breaking it down into shapes, because that means that first and foremost you're learning how to simplify it. So that means you can either go into being more realistic or being more stylized. Like that just gives you the option to do either if you would prefer.
Yeah, if there's a spectrum, I'm on the realistic side, Fuji's on the stylistic side, and like Ri is kind of in the middle.
Yeah. He's fun.
Do a bit more on the stylistic side too, though.
Yeah, definitely. Fun fact for anatomy, I found out we have a muscle on the side of our stomachs. Really? I guess that would make
obliques?
sense. Obliques.
Is it our obliques? Oh.
Was it this one?
Yeah.
I can't remember actually. I can't remember all the muscles. I've forgotten. But yeah, guys, did that did that make sense? Do you have any questions with that?
The thing said, I have a sense I want to give a tip for anatomy. If you struggle with anatomy, go to the bathroom. If you live alone, go to the mirror and strip it. Yeah, basically.
I mean, but also, I mean, you want to get the absolute best, go to a life-drawing class. Because then you can see the body at angles that you wouldn't be able to on your own body. And also, your body is like one body type out of a large generation of them. Like, that's why actually a lot of the time I think art, like, for some people, their artwork looks like them. Like the features they tend to default to are similar to their own, because that's a lot of the time what they see a lot or what their reference is a lot. So if you go and try and diversify your range by looking at different reference photos and stuff, then you'll be able to stay out of like the static body types or anatomy knowledge.
So James Smith, yeah, yes. I would say like if you want to get better at your foundational skills and anatomy, like of muscles, and know what you're doing, study figure. So figure studying. So there's a lot of model like websites where you can look at a lot of different figures and try to study them. And those type of things is where you can learn real anatomy. If you want to learn some stylized anatomy after you know a good amount of anatomy, or you just want to not be realistic and just do whatever, and you already know the base of what body types there are, I mean body parts there are, that's the word, then you study your favorite artists.
Yeah.
Study how they shape it, because anatomy, stylized anatomy is just changing the shape of what is already there.
Yeah. And if you study a whole bunch of artists that you like, you'll be able to kind of like smush together the different shapes that they use for different things and like learn different ways to stylize and simplify different forms.
Yes.
Yes. What helps with myself is that I'm so I can legit see the bone structure. Oh, I see. That would be helpful. I say Line of Action is a good figure drawing site.
Line of Action's more of just posing than anatomy, though.
I mean, figure drawing is kind of more posing, though.
If you want to get a bit more advanced, if you learn the muscles, learn where the muscles connect to the body, so that you know what is pulling when you pull and drag, how the muscles would move. So like our pectoral muscles are connected to our arms, so that's why when we spread or lift our arms, our pectorals also get dragged with it.
Yeah.
That's a bit advanced. And that's an animator's way of thinking as well.
Yeah. I was so amazed when I found that out, though. Like, it made logical sense, but it was so cool.
I know, right? And Fuji's just going silent, being like, oh, yeah. Fuji still here? Fuji?
Oh, I lost them.
Did Fuji come? Fuji, huh? I wonder if they died.
They might have. Yes. I don't think they're here no more. Hi, Ray Pringles. How are you today?
Pringles.
Pringles.
Yeah.
Wow.
And as you see, as Breeze is doing right now, once you know anatomy, you can learn things like foreshortening, which is when things are more closer to the camera, so it looks short, even though it's just going back and forth from the camera. And then you can also learn perspective with figure drawing.
As you see, there's another thing about studying different artists is studying different like how-to guides on how people simplify shapes, because some people might like to use cubes, but other people might work a lot better with like circles or using a bunch of triangles. So like finding what works for you when it comes to simplification is also like a really good way of being able to learn at a more personalized pace. Does that make sense? Moving Yes, I wanted to make an old man. I was like, why you look young? And then I put one line near his mouth and eye. And I was like, oh, it all makes sense now. Yeah. That's why studying different ages is good too.
It's also a thing you need to know. It's just a little thing of like, when you are younger, gravity is this is a very sciencey way of explaining it. Gravity affects you when you're younger because there's a lot of bit more molecules and it like pushes against the gravity, so a lot of things are a bit more uptight, bit more, it defies gravity less, so like noses point up a bit more and stuff. But once you age, that protective layer stops being there, it starts dying off a little bit. So that's when you get wrinkles, that's when things, it's basically as you age things get heavier. So like you pull a lot of things down, so you pull the eye sockets down a bit, you pull the nose down a bit, you pull the cheeks down a bit. Those are things to help age people. It's why people's back also bends a lot because gravity is affecting them more.
Oh, I see. Is that also where like the notion that people can shrink in their old age comes from?
Because they're not shrinking, it's just their spine is getting a bit more compressed. Their bones are getting compressed from how they stand. Either it's bending backwards or forwards, or bending backwards and forwards to an S.
I see.
That's why people say good posture is important.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
I'll look up speed.
But yeah, this thing is, what was it called again? The line of action?
Line of action.
Yeah. And so that helps make sure you have fluidity in your motion. Because a lot of the time when you study anatomy, you can actually lose fluidity as you get bogged down in what is structurally correct. So that's why trying to keep it loose is also kind of like a fun, important thing. Oh yeah, and you can use like, you don't even just have to use squares. To make it even more fluid, you actually can use like lines. And because the line, at least for me, doesn't necessarily represent the bone, it just represents the general shape of the arm. It doesn't always have to be straight, it can be fluid in order to keep that motion.
That's the thing that reads better than me, is that I'm a bit more structured with my drawing. Ree has better flow and dynamic.
But Alicia's is more accurate.
How do you make backgrounds?
Do you want us to move to yours?
I mean, do they want a rant of perspective?
What do you want? Do you want to learn basics or
yeah, what about backgrounds do you want to know? Is there people? Who was it? Was it Shattered?
Oh, Ryle.
Is Shattered here? Does Shattered want me to go over their thing? Does people have any artworks they wanna have us draw over with some feedback on?
Oh yeah, if you guys have any artworks that you want feedback on, if you send it to us in the Discord, then we can do it. The Discord is linked in the description. Yes.
We shall wait and hear. And I'm gonna try to figure out where Fuji went.
I think his internet might have died again.
Yeah, the internet.
Yes. Is he online?
No.
No, and yeah, he died.
The day set perspective.
Okay. I will switch over to yours then.
Here we go. You guys ready for maths? Oh, someone joined the Discord.
so excited for a better setup when my PC is alive.
I'm actually too scared to show my art. Oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You want here? Wait. Your redo drawing. I was gonna be like, let me draw something really trash.
No, I'm streaming yours now. So like, they can see yours. So draw. Hey, favorite subject. Hey, great.
Three. Okay. Yeah. No, sorry. Family quickly came in and I didn't have time to mute my mic, so I just pulled my whole mic out.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, but they can see your screen.
Oh, QnA.
Yes. Well, not your screen. They can see what you're streaming.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I didn't even notice. Yeah. I could teach perspective, but would someone want to give something that we can go over?
Very big sip of milk. You should drink some milk. Milk is great. What kind of milk? And what thoughts? I take forever to make art. If Daddy likes it, I'll probably show it. Oh, okay. No worries.
I mean, okay, I'll go over some like background basics. So things like perspective. So there's 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective. So if 1 point, let's go close up 1 point. It's when there's a thing called a horizon line. If you look upwards more, the horizon line will go become higher, will become lower, because you're looking at the roof more. If you're looking downwards, the horizon line comes lower because you will be looking on top of something. 5 point. Let's not get into 5 point today.
Also, good morning, bro.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, so 1 point is once when on the horizon line. Some people call it the eye level line. Where there's 1 point and then you would draw things coming from that 1 point. So you would have anything that faces directly towards you would be parallel to the canvas, and anything on the sides would become part of that. Yeah, so but 1 point you can legit put anywhere, so let's make the horizon line up. This is how you could draw like a street. Oh, that is not straight. Fine, I am. We are pro artists here.
Doing great.
Doing great. A lot of good resources on perspective online though, so I won't go into that much detail. I'll just let you know what the things are, so you can look. 2 point, 2 point. A lot of people tend to use 2 point because it adds depth and stuff. So the same thing with a horizon line, there'll be 2 points. The more dramatic you want the lens, the closer you put it. But usually you would put it outside of the canvas to make it look more a bit less.
What are the dots called
eerie.
again? What are the dots called again? Like the
vanishing points?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. With the vanishing points closer to each other.
Yeah. So in how in 1 point the horizontal and vertical lines stay parallel to the canvas, only In 2 point, only the vertical ones stay parallel to the canvas, and every side will connect to the vanishing points. So we get a nice cube.
Yeah.
We can do it again. With what did I do here? I'll do a low one. We put the dots here. What's something weird we can do? Draw things like a table.
Yeah.
POV, you are Ree's dog.
Yes. She gets cold now because she doesn't have as much fur, so we have to put a jacket on her.
Oh wait, it's a chair. POV.
Okay, have a good night. Very big sip of milk.
Wait, do I send art again? Put it in the suggestion chat.
Yeah. Either that or art critique. Either one.
Yeah, do let us know who you want to critique. We
Mm.
read. And then there's 3 point. 3 point is kind of the most realistic way you can draw things. So I shall use my table again. So 3 points. Well, I'll estimate my 3 points. I'm kind of lazy doing.
Fair enough.
Why am I? There is a perspective ruler on this, and I don't. Oh, I'll just do it by hand. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out the perspective ruler and clip.
The dot comes over here actually. And then here, every line tapers to at least one of the points. POV, you're stuck on the roof.
You are a balloon.
Yes, you are a balloon. So in this, yeah. But as you see, I put the horizon line higher. It means that I'm looking down on it.
Like, just think of the like the horizon line of an ocean, and think about how that changes when you go higher and lower in space. But also, if you take a picture of something that has a lot of straight lines, and then just like if it was a building or a cityscape, and just like use like the pink, use like a pink or a bright color, and draw over those, you can like kind of figure out where the horizon is, like where the vertices, where the lines are occurring in that, and starting to understand how perspective warps images.
Yeah. Usually, 1 point can be useful for things like a road or things that have like a one direction, like a tunnel roads. I usually say stick to 2 point and 3, because 2 point usually gets a really good field of depth without the struggles of having to do 3. I like doing 3 because 3 is the most natural for me. But all of these are very good to use.
Yeah, and then when you go into 4 and 5, you start getting into the fisheye lens, and things start to warp.
I mean, you can still do fisheye lens with different like 2 and 3 points.
Sure.
But
That's how it works.
I can always
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, I can always warp the yes.
Yeah, bro. Every line turns into a circle at 5.
Okay.
Yay.
Zidane sent in
Ooh.
something in the suggestions. Do you want what's the feedback that you want exactly?
Yeah.
Because we'll do it based on who has the knowledge of it. So if it's backgrounds, then I would do backgrounds. But if it's character art,
Yeah.
people, it would be to read.
If anything, we can probably like both download it and then do different parts.
Yeah. We can. That works.
Yes, Zane. What would you like us to talk about?
Or is there something that you would like to ask either of us to do? Good at backgrounds. Oh,
Yeah.
backgrounds. Then let me download this picture real quick. And colors. Okay. Oh, colors. Oh, you just missed the colors.
I mean, we can probably apply what we thought, what we said to this theoretically. And yes, Rip Fuji.
Yeah, I have no idea where Fuji went.
His internet probably died.
Yeah. Transformation. That's off. Actually, let's not make it too big in the canvas. I think English is not working with me today. The first thing about having good backgrounds or stuff, is that was the question? Was that the question? Yes. And
Yeah.
backgrounds. So yeah, we have this really cute drawing by Zidane here. The one thing that I would say is have a better idea of composition. So composition rules. People, if you heard of the golden ratio, the golden ratio is simplified by the rule of thirds. So that's when you divide canvas into threes. In these intersection points is where you put your focal points. Also think of how Reed before mentioned line of action of people to give a greater sense of energy.
And to lead the viewer's eye around the canvas.
Line of action you can also apply to a background. So if you have a line of action, you can put things of importance on the line of action to lead the eye. So if I did something like this, and had an arrow, this line of action makes our eye look at the arrow first, being like, what's here? Oh, and then our eye follows the line of action to be like, oh, it's a house. It's leading us to a house.
And I think we tend to, what was it? There was a rule where they tended to like one section of the page more than the other. But that varies depending on like what reading direction the culture is in.
For advertisement, people tend to put the most important things at the bottom of things or at the top center. Usually they put it at the bottom because then our eyes would have to look through every information and then we look at the most important thing at the bottom. We also make sure that we make sure to follow the left to right rule, top to bottom. For Zidane's cute ass artwork, I think the most thing is figure out other ways to do something that's not flat. Because everyone knows how to do the little grass and the sky, but there's more objects in a background. Like you could add like hills and stuff in the background. I'll do a pen color that's noticeable. So currently the composition is pretty flat with just half. Even by if I split the thing by the third up here, have the grass up here, and have the grass down here, it's a much more exciting thing, because then you would know that to look here instead. I can say framing. So if you want these to be the focal point, frame it by having objects that ignore the look. Oh,
Fuji?
did Fuji come back? Fuji?
Fuji?
Did Fuji come back? Fuji, hello?
His internet might be back, but he might not be here.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, Fuji's back.
Yay!
Chat, welcome back, Fuji.
Yay!
Sorry about that. My power died again.
Of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, framing devices could be like add a tree like right here. That ignore that. Add more grass here. Maybe add another branch that comes over here. And that leads the eyes to look more into the middle. In the background, you can also add more trees to direct the eye to look into the center.
I will say I appreciate that, like, you can see the perspective in this, even though it's simple.
So if I did all this, my eyes directly go here.
There goes my door.
Is the door okay?
Yep. No.
The door's comedic timing is my favorite.
It's slightly unhinged. Very slightly unhinged.
Slightly.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, after those Uncle Alicia has blown my basic advice. Yes. I think now in a general of like just my personal preferences, I will give my personal preferences now. I see that if the middle point is here, I would like to balance the weight. So currently all the bigger people on this side and all the smaller people on this side. I would have preferred if you added maybe this person over here. Maybe bring this person a bit more closer in here. Do a really weird thing that I do where I just pick the colors. So if they were here, if this person came down here instead. Erase their existence.
I think another way, because what Alicia's talking right now is like the balance of the image.
I'm talking about framing.
Yeah. But like another way to know that the framing is right and the composition is because you can very clearly see the line where the sky is and where the ground is. You can actually like block in all of the characters and the background and like the grass area. And if you block it in with black, you can see like kind of like what the whole silhouette is for it, and then understand if it's balanced or not.
Yeah, so I would then drag this little cutie over here. So yeah, I'll just drag them in a bit more. I would bring this person in a bit more. I would bring them. Have some people cuddling. Interaction is also a nice way. Bring this little bugger in. there anything you want to add, Ree, as I do this?
No. I think you've pretty much covered everything.
Pull this person back more.
Oh, yeah, because like the tip of the hand is like almost touching the edge of the frame, so it creates a tangent.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I really hate tangents. Tangents bug the heck out of me. I get Fuji so much for tangents. He's laughing because
Hey,
he knows. He
hey.
knows. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them too. I get so frustrated whenever I have them when I'm like animating, and I'm like, bruh, can I not, please?
Yes. By the way, also, for those who don't know tangents are when you have one line and then another line that intersects at one point, and it makes it really confusing on what's going with what. So, like, for example, if I have a tree and then I put a car directly tangenting, so connecting here, that's really confusing, isn't it? What's in front, what's behind. If I overlap, so maybe now the car's behind, that makes a bit more of a clearer idea. Same with clothing. What else was I gonna say? My brain died a little bit.
There's
It happens a lot. It happens
that.
a lot with suits. People tend to do these type of things with suits. And then having it all connected in one spot. And let's say the neck comes. Let's say the neck connects here.
Gross. Oh,
Say the neck
gross. That
connects
is
here. Can you see how confusing that is? Having it all connects
no,
It's
here.
like the longest neck in the world.
Yeah, because then
I am
people like
having.
people don't know that the shoulder continues. So you would preferably make sure the lines don't intersect as much.
I am
Maybe
having a physical reaction to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This
Having
also
things.
applies to it,
continue,
not just touching, but like being very, very close to the point if you squint, it looks like it's touching.
Yeah, because like here we have a giraffe. Here we have a normal human.
It's the cutest giraffe. Oh my gosh.
Oh, how do I do a little hand?
His name is Steve.
Steve.
You love Steve.
Steve, man, such a great guy.
Let's see what's going your arm strength for. Oh, we're at it. Does the human look okay? Human. Like if I was being like very nitpicky, I would be like, of course, anatomy because I am a very structured person. I study anatomy to be hardcore. I'm sure Ree can give a more stylized go over of it, but I can also go over it. So yeah, this is this bugging me. Let's bring them closer. So yeah, if we have it all closer in, now we have a nice little bubble they're in.
Yay.
And then this would allow us to bring some framing devices. So let's say, let's add nice tree in the foreground. In the background, we can add mount. Let's bring it. Let's make it cooler. There we go. We can add mountains in the back. We can add that piece of grass I keep on talking about. Grass bit. we can have more branches. So if this was a really huge tree, then the branch could continue this way. You can have,
And so then there's more of a sense of environment as well.
yeah. I say backgrounds. Think of the background and think of things that are already there. So if I was gonna draw, say, an office, of course you would have your tables, you would have your chairs, and you have your walls and windows. But what else would be there? Think about, or some people will have sticky notes. Some people will have mugs of coffee. There's a kitchen in the office usually. There's a lot of cables that comes with computers. Adding those little details brings our background together, because a background is needed to tell a story. You're not making a blank area. You're putting an area that is lived in. If that's lived in by creatures or nature, then of course it has to be more like trees and how things grow naturally. If it's more infrastructure and buildings, so that's where my brain goes to a lot. You think of human things that show that a human has lived there.
Ah, yes, human things.
Human
Nice,
things.
nice, human things.
Hello, fellow human.
Hi.
Sorry.
You see, yeah. So now everyone's together. There's a homey vibe.
Yay.
If anything, I would also interact with them, like cuddling. Maybe one's laying on the lap here, like doing a mad sleepover. Like,
So you can see a tangent with the one that they are holding, like the foot.
oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, so that's an example of a
Right here.
tangent, and how if you have it actually overlapping the line properly, it actually looks like it's standing on the space. But
I
yeah.
would say another tangent's here.
Mm.
Is the arm continuing like this? Is that, yeah? Does it gives us this sense because we don't know where it is. Is the arm going here? Is the arm going here? We don't know because of tangents. There's all these little tangents that you kind of ignore. Oh, I noticed. Okay, these are the tangents that bugs me. These ones, because now it's like, are they? Does the was it? Is this now the part of the arm kind of thing?
Oh, there as well.
This. You don't know where the line stops.
Because
So like now he can be part of the whole thing, and you wouldn't know.
Because Zidane, if you want help with the human, let us know if you want a more realistic approach with Alicia or a stylized one with me.
Yeah. So that's my bit of background.
Yay!
Yeah, but let's wait for Zidane.
Yeah. Humans. Oh.
I'm sorry. It's I'm a person who's so used to getting critique that I have no idea how to soften it. Because the thing is, it's a lovely piece. It's just fundamental things that people don't learn or people don't think of at first. That once you have a trained eye for it, it will bug you. And it's also just like a nice stylus thing that, because tangents, the reason why tangents are so important to avoid is because destroys the it destroys perspective.
Yeah, it makes everything look flat and
yeah.
Yeek.
Plus, with avoiding tangents, you also, I don't know, make better shapes. Does that make sense?
True. I think yes.
But
Sorry.
like kind of like how if you have like that animal's or that Pokemon's foot overlapping the thing, like it can create a better shape than if it was completely flat with the shoulder, then it wouldn't have any kind of roundness to the bottom of the foot.
Mm.
It's hard to
Yeah,
describe.
Yeah.
Silhouette question mark?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Things popping into my head. I don't know.
Shape and
It
silhouette go hand in
creates a
hand.
less confusing silhouette. That's why people
yeah.
like
Yeah.
tangents as well, especially in like clothes design.
Mm.
Do you want Ree to go over anatomy, or do you want me? I think we can go back to Ree to anatomy. Take the lead, Ree.
Okay.
Take the reins. Take the reins.
Back.
Take my hand, Ree.
I will. 3 days a week.
Yes. Huddle Ree 3 days a week. Feels great.
Cries.
Oh yeah, so there's a thing where because I go to school with Ree, and Fuji's like our other really close friend, but he's over in another country. I tend to
Cries.
I tend to tease Fuji, being like, look, I have time with Ree, and like both me and Ree, are like, look, we're together.
Hello.
Scott.
Oh,
Hello.
there.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi. Is the stream back, guys? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is Zidane here?
Okay, yep, we're back.
Yay. I didn't even touch airplane mode this time, it just died.
I see.
Yay. Okay, Zidane, do you want me to go over the character? Or would you like to move on to other things?
I think they asked before to go over the human.
Okay.
So, yes.
So yeah, overall this is really cute. I like it.
The stream couldn't handle that I'm together with Ree. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, overall I like it. I like the
I
color
like the
scheme.
pose a lot. It's asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing I love about poses is don't make the poses look symmetrical.
Oh,
It gives them a
twinning?
coffin vibe.
Twinning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
twinning.
Twinning
Do not
triggers me to hell, dude. Like, every time, I swear to God. sorry. Yeah.
That's fair. We get warned to not do that in animation a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, like overall really cute. If you break it down into basic shapes though, you can see that, say like, nope. Very good. Happy that I just noticed this now. Okay, I was drawing on that layer. If you see here, it kind of cuts off very abruptly. And so what would usually be a shape of for the head, which is a circle and then the jawline, circle and then the jawline, even if it was more squished.
Do you want to use a different color? It's a bit hard to see. Maybe use a bright green.
Green.
Maybe that
Is
works.
that
There we go.
hey. Instead of like it having a normal chin, it's kind of jutting in like this, so it kind of seems like it's either it's like this, which could work, but it's slightly confusing, or it's going in like that. So when you're doing these things, be careful of when you conceal a part of the body, make sure that it's still readable